Ever wonder why you're not closing the deals you think you should? Or why you're losing customers and employees left and right? I was there once. There's a lot of reasons why this was happening, but one of the main reasons was no one in my company was building lasting relationships. No one was building rapport. On this episode of the IT Provider Network, we're going to talk about some proven ways you can use to build rapport and lasting relationships with your prospects, customers, and employees.
Welcome to the IT Provider Network. Are you a managed service entrepreneur wanting to take your business to the next level? Do you excel in IT but feel your business management could be better? Join Terry Rossi, where every episode he shares the skills, tips, and tricks that helped him to build a successful worldwide business.
Hi, and welcome to episode 3 of the IT Provider Network. Thanks for joining me, and as always, my goal is to bring you great content that will help you build, grow, and scale your managed service business. I was recently asked by someone on my management team to elaborate on a statement I made about building rapport with our customers. My comment was after someone in my finance department said that she emailed a new customer about setting up our company as a vendor. I told her not to forget to pick up the phone with our new customers and build a relationship. That relationship needs to be built with conversation so that we're more than just a vendor to their AP contact, but we're a person. We need to build real relationships with our customers, and that's true of our prospects and our employees as well. So I turned this statement into a PowerPoint presentation that I gave to our management team during our Monday morning meeting. I also took the time to record it so I could add it to our human resources arsenal and reuse it if and when the time comes that we need it again. This is a good practice to get into your business. Always be thinking about maximizing the time you're spending and being able to reuse or repurpose the content you create. If you're giving a presentation, record it. If you're writing a blog post, think about ways to make it evergreen. Make content that's always relevant. Interesting and relevant content that doesn't become dated. This is particularly important now with social media. Using tools like Social Jukebox and Buffer, you can repost content with different titles in kind of a round-robin fashion. So what follows is the presentation I did for our management team. I've included a link to the PowerPoint video on YouTube in the show notes at the itprovidernetwork.com/episode 3. Have a listen, then I'll be back to wrap things up. Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about building rapport with our customers, our employees, our prospects, or for anyone for that matter. So let's start out with a simple definition. What is rapport? If you look at Wikipedia, or if you could find one, a dictionary, rapport is defined as the close and harmonious relationship with people or groups and understanding their feelings, ideas, and being able to communicate well with them. That's what rapport is. It's the relationship. It's understanding. It's having a bond with someone. It's having empathy. So it's interesting. CBS News and the Wall Street Journal did a poll, and they asked people, what percentage of people in general do you think are trustworthy? So imagine lining up 100 people and asking someone, out of those 100 people, how many do you think are trustworthy? The answer was a little surprising to me. 30% of people, the poll revealed, people believe are trustworthy. I think that's a pretty low percentage. We're pretty skeptical people, aren't we? Well, not necessarily. They asked a different group of people the same question with a slight change. What percentage of people that you know in general are trustworthy? So now it's 100 people that you know that are lined up in front of you. What do you think the answer was? Well, surprisingly enough, it was the exact opposite. 70% of the people they felt were trustworthy. Now, this is a huge difference. This goes to show you that people, when they get to know you, when they get to like you, they start to trust you. So that's a big difference. Of course, there's a lot more to building rapport and trust than making a good initial connection with someone, but it's certainly a good place to start. Making a connection with someone makes them feel more comfortable sharing with you all their aspirations and afflictions. 2 things that you really need to know to succeed in sales and in business. When you build rapport in business, keep in mind you want to make a sincere connection. All too often, there's chit-chat and there's small talk before a sales call, and it's contrived. So what can we learn from this? Well, the first thing we can learn is that people buy from people. They don't buy from companies. They don't buy from websites. They don't buy from billboards. They buy from people. And they buy from people that they know, like, and trust. This is a key point. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So remember that. You need to get people to know you first, to like you second, and then trust will follow after that. So having said that, let's talk about 7 things that we can do to help build rapport with our relationships. The first is to be genuine. I'm sure you remember before your first day of school or your first job or your first trip to a camp, your mother always said to you, just be yourself and you'll be fine. Well, she was right. She was right at camp and she was right at school and she's right with building rapport. This lesson applies to building rapport. You need to be genuine. Be genuine. Be yourself. Don't try to be anything you're not. Don't create a new persona. Don't adopt a sales-like tone. Just relax, smile, and go in with a positive attitude. If you do that, good things will follow. Be genuine. Oscar Wilde once said, be yourself, everyone else is taken. That's really true. The second thing is you need to be warm and friendly. Chilly people get chilly reactions from other people. Warm people get warm reactions. Approach rapport building with the intent to be warm and friendly. Matter of fact, approach life with the intent to be warm and friendly. Smile, give a firm handshake, make eye contact, and engage with the other person you're speaking to. If you're on the phone, do the same thing. Stand up, smile. If you can't stand up, then just smile. The friendliness will show through the phone. It's been proven. Smile when you're having a phone conversation. The third thing you need to do is show some genuine interest. It's no surprise to anyone, people are self-focused. But this can be usually beneficial for us in business because we need to learn about our prospects, our employees, our customers, before we can provide them with the best solutions. People want to feel like they have an opening to share what they're thinking, including their desires, their fears, and their problems. The more genuinely interested you appear, the more relaxed and willing to share they will be. Don't forget sometimes, just shut up and listen. Let them speak. Let them bare their soul to you. There's a couple old interviewing tricks that come into play when we're building rapport, and you can use them to get your prospect, employee, or customer to open up a little bit. The first is you want to ask open-ended questions. Don't give them an opportunity to just say yes or no. Just ask open-ended questions. How did you end up working here? Or when did you realize your son was a great football player? Anything like that that gets them to open up and have conversation is good. And the second trick is one I've briefly mentioned, is to just be quiet. After they answer a question, don't immediately fire back with another comment. Let it sit in the air for a second. Oftentimes, this will make them elaborate even more on the point they just made or the comment they just made. So don't forget, show genuine interest. Number 4 is don't seem too needy. Nobody likes a real needy person. It gets right under your skin quickly. Most of us know someone who's wanted to be liked so much that he tried so hard, but that doesn't work. The harder you try, the more you seem to push people away. And trying to be liked, that guy appears needy. You can't force rapport. Show interest, but don't act subservient. Don't be overly friendly. Don't be too pushy, or you'll only turn the other person off. You can't just walk in there and come off like gangbusters. It's got to be a slow process. You need to build it. You need to build the relationship and the rapport. And that means calibrating just the right level of rapport. Oftentimes, people go into an initial relationship and they're nervous or they're new in their position and they don't have a lot of confidence. They're sensitive to the time of the people they're talking to. They often think, I have an hour for this meeting with the CEO. I need to use the whole time to get my point across before she throws me out of the room. Or I'm not really sure what I'm talking about, so I'm just going to babble a little bit. They don't make a conscious decision to do that, but that's what happens because they go into a meeting not prepared or not ready to discuss the points that need to be discussed. Or they do a lot of chit chat, a lot of small talk up front, or not enough small talk up front. You need to be able to gauge that amount of small talk to be able to build in just the right amount of that so you can build rapport. Do your best to read the other person. Find the right amount of rapport-focused conversation that should happen prior to the business meeting. You also want to make sure you're giving genuine compliments. There's an old saying, flattery will get you everywhere. Well, I think flattery will get you nowhere, but genuine compliments are endearing and people like them. If you like someone's office, if you like their website, or if you're impressed with the book they just wrote, then say so. The person you're saying it to is going to be impressed. They're going to be proud of what they've done. If they've had a recent accomplishment, relay your authentic congratulations to them. This can go a long way to building rapport. One thing I just heard of was a CEO, as part of his 20-mile march, puts a date on his calendar every month, and he sits down and he pens a thank you note to someone over the last 30 days who he has felt genuinely touched by and wants to thank. He sits down and pens that thank you note. He addresses the envelope, he sticks the stamp on it and puts it in the mail. The recipient of the thank you note, of course, has no idea that he did all this by himself, but they know he wrote the letter and he knows that he did it all. All in all, I don't think it's a bad habit to adapt. The seventh and final thing I think you need to do is read the culture. Always be yourself, but at the same time, you can adjust your approach to the other person or company you're dealing with. Don't change who you are to fit into the culture, but be aware of how the culture works and how best to respond. For example, if you go into a suit and tie joint, showing up in your Grateful Dead t-shirt probably isn't going to fly so well. And if it's a jeans and sneakers place, showing up in a suit might not go over well either. You get the idea. Try to gauge your dress, your demeanor to the company you're going into. And you don't need to be in person always to read the culture either. Subtle points come through on telephone calls and emails. Look for clues in the greetings and the salutations. Are they formal? Are they informal? Do they have a religious twist? Are they trendy? You can read a lot about a person just by an email or a phone call. I wanted to also give you some bonus points. Body language. So body language is key in any conversation. When you're trying to build rapport, you want to lean into the conversation. You want to have your arms and legs uncrossed. You want to be looking genuinely interested. You want to refer back to things the other person says in the conversation. Look for little nuggets of common experiences and things that you are able to comment on outside of the business relationship that you're talking about. Things that can endear you back to the person you're speaking to. Show empathy. I think this is true in every part of what we do in business. We want to show empathy for the other person that we're talking to. We want to show them that we understand how they feel or what it feels like to be in their position or how we might have been in that position once and how we got out of it. It's a good way to build rapport. Be non-judgmental. Don't go in there with a lot of stereotypes and preconceived notions. Go in there with an open mind and really with a mind that's looking forward to meeting the person you're going to meet. That will definitely show through in the conversation and you'll be able to build rapport with them. Be honest. Always be honest. Always admit when you don't know something or if you made a mistake. I'd much rather hear, let me find out about that for you than some made-up answer about something that I know the guy doesn't know about. So be honest, admit when you've done something wrong or made a mistake, and be willing to table something you don't know about and go find out about it. Follow up afterwards. And this is an important one. Remember that relationships are rarely built without an interactive, real-time conversation. And I phrased it that way because that's what I truly believe. You need to have a phone call. You need to have a face-to-face conversation, something that's interactive and happening in real time is how you build rapport. You don't build rapport with email chains back and forth or with a text message that has no real-time flow. You need to have an interactive real-time conversation to build a relationship. So remember that. Pick up the phone or go shake someone's hand. And don't forget, and this is a big one, don't forget to smile. It's really, really important. You can see it. You can feel it. People will feel the warmth. They'll know you're genuine. They'll know you're there because you're interested in what they're saying, what they're doing, and you'll be able to build rapport. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something out of it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. You can reach me at tpr@pix.com.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you've been inspired. Check us out on social media via @ITProviderNet and visit us at www.itprovidernetwork.com for past episodes, show notes, videos, and more. And we hope you'll join Terry next time on the IT Provider Network.
Thanks for hanging in there till the end. I really do appreciate it. I'm just getting started with this podcast, and I welcome your feedback, suggestions, comments, things I can do, things I can talk about to help you improve your business. Please visit us at the website, www.itprovidernetwork.com. Sign up for our mailing list. That way I'll know you're listening and you'll keep in touch. And don't forget, subscribe to us on iTunes. Thanks and have a great day.